Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P-Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. But I done got engulfed in this civilization, non-violent civilization, contribution to society or civilization. I'm down that rabbit hole, so hope you enjoy the lesson because that's what it's going to be about for the next few lessons. So let's go. Right is a 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in the story for life. Oh yeah, these are life lessons for real. Okay, I got you. I love this. All right. So I appreciate you tuning in, getting the message, doing your thing. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do now. It's my time. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinkers, way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to your goal of knowing spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where we're going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical. But if you don't have an answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I got this book. And I ain't even got to page. We just at page 25. Boy, the information is bringing back old feelings. I'm getting a little amped up. So I got to calm myself down. So right thinkers, let's talk about the commentary. We done did the introduction. I done did all. Now we at the commentary. We ain't even got to the book and this information before we even get started. So this is the good stuff. Now, this is the commentary about the writer of the book, my boy, Tony Anthony Brown. He's telling you about how he got his stuff. And this is sound almost like a mirror image of mine. He went a different route. But watch this. I can identify with everything he's saying. So at one time I thought this was fluff. No, this is good information. So I'm going to give it to you. All right. In my first book, he says, from the Bridal Files, and he got a bunch of books. Check them out. Okay. 22 essays on the African American experience. Again, experience, something that he has. One essay stood out from the rest and elicited the greatest response from his readers. That essay was entitled, you ready? The Creation of the Negro. That's going to be the title of this I'm going to talk about because this is, okay, boy, this is good information. There we go. So much I got to say, but I'm trying to get it in as I'm going, so I will interject every chance I get. So the question regarding the creation of the Negro and his culture significance is one which has intrigued me all my life. Now, he came up in the 60s. I was born in the 50s. So we pretty much in the same era. We dealt with pretty much the same stuff. So that's why I said I can identify. When I speak about that guy, I'm speaking from my experience. My mom, my dad, all my people spoke from the experience with him. So understand that. Moving on. Now, he says, as a young Negro child growing up in Chicago, I remember my grandfather's rejection of that designation as his refusal to check any box that labeled Negro or on any applications, and back the day the census, okay, forms or other documents. They'd always want to know the race, okay? And back then it was Negro. And he also checked other. I like that idea. That's how strong he was and how he felt about what he's being called. Watch this. No knowledge of self. If they did, they'd have been whole different people, but they didn't have that. So watch this. He was still arrogant and violent to being representing. He just didn't know who he was representing. Okay, ignorant to who you are. Watch this. And he also checked others. My grandfather was a fiercely proud black man. Right there. That pride, once it's ignited with what? Knowledge. Oh, now you got fire. That's what they didn't have back then. And I ain't knocking them, but that's the difference. Watch this. But they was fiercely proud men who never accepted what? The negative stereotypes. We are living right into the damn stereotype. They was dead set against it, and it was a whole different set of stereotypes back then. Inferiority. We ain't as good as them. We ain't, oh, yeah, we had a whole different animal to deal with, young people. This is your history. Trust me. And they hated the negative stereotypes associated, watch this, with the image of the Negro. The white man called us that. That was his name. Oh, he got a few names for us. Watch this. That guy right there, oh, I got a story that you would not believe. Only reason I believe it because I was there. The white man came to tow my car. I was a young kid in college. My battery went, my motor went, blue motor, and never get the transmission or never changed the oil. So, ignorant. But long story short, my man came and got me, called a tow truck. White tow truck, upstate New York. The guy said, "Hey, boy, these people be talking. I'm not a boy. Ah, boy. This is just a four-letter word. B-O-Y. Not nigger, not coon, not jiggle. No, boy. When you're a man, a proud black man, the last thing, you don't call me no damn boy." And I'm adamant about that. Why? Because my old man didn't like to be called boy by no white man. And he made that known. He took it to the hilt. We had the magistrate, we got the police, we are upstate New York. He didn't give a good who. You're not going to call me a boy. Okay, stood on his premise and he was right. How about that? Okay, moving on. Just one little quick story. But see, again, living in that era, back in the 70s, that's what this is from 60s to 70s, the white man felt superior. The white man felt, oh, you niggas, how much change? Don't they just, we ain't going there. I'm trying to keep the history, show you how well we got to where we are now. We had to deal with a whole bunch of different animals. Watch this. So, the image of a Negro is not good. And while he couldn't change how American society viewed him, again, white America, he could and he did and would determine how he viewed himself. Right there. Be your best self. Give your best effort. It ain't about what. No, but they want you to believe that. And we got caught up in that. We trying to appease the white man. I could care less about him. And once we get my sister in office, I kind of that nonsense. But that was a divine move. Why? So God can get some of you nuts to understand, yeah, it's a higher power at work. Pay attention, and maybe you'll learn something, or you maybe better yourself. But what? Just doing something that's right. Wrong has got so far. Y'all think the president of the United States can run the damn country from the prison? Excuse me. I can't even concede that. No, that was just, wait a minute. That's what we are now. 50 years ago, the black man was considered trash. Okay? It wasn't that long ago. Y'all went by slavery, damn slavery. How about the prejudice? God, calm down, dog. You way up. Ooh. See, yeah. This is getting me all riled up. This gets me, because my passion and my love is there. That's not anger. And no, I'm upset because this is what really happened. And we still being dealt with in the same manner. They just disguise it a little bit, but we ain't helping our cause. He took it personal, like I did. Like he did. It's personal. How you being treated by somebody, that's up to you. I also recall conversations with my grandmother, and that's just his grandmother. If your grandfather is a highly respected man, his wife got to be saying, wait. And my grandmother, who would often refer to herself and other Negroes as colored, another bad word. I frequently asked her to be more specific, and she would inquire what color was this color that we people, red, green, black, or white. It was only after much back and forth aggravation to her that my grandmother would finally, she would force herself to utter that dreadful word, black. 50 years ago, being black wasn't cool. How about that? Why? Because they labeling us. Why? We didn't have knowledge of self, so whatever they called us, we had to pretty much go with it. And this is going to lay that out. Show you. Watch this. Now, she finally broke down to call herself black. Eventually, and with much prompting on my part, working with her, my grandmother stopped using the term colored and negro and began to regularly use the word black. Okay, we don't went through a few. This is a good lesson here. In her vocabulary, watch this, as more appropriate description for people of African descent. Right there. After all this, what's that? After all, this was what? In the 60s. And black people were just beginning to what? To develop a positive appreciation for themselves. Really? Well, after they'd been beating us and bad treating us, we started getting, I guess they call it fair treatment. We started becoming civilized according to them. Yeah, that sticks in my craw a little bit. But this is what happened. They had white superiority, white privilege. They was better than us. So they thought. That was the mindset we dealt with. They're moving on. Okay, moving up. Now, it wasn't until the 70s that I was able to clearly understand my grandmother's reluctance, to use the word black, and my grandfather's rejection of the word negro. There was negative connotation. Just like nigga, the same thing. Boy, same thing, all negative. That's why words have an effect, okay? In their day, watch this, to call someone, in their day, back in when to call someone black was what? Was the most serious insult. Could you imagine that right now, people? Just to be called black was an insult, which what could result, you ready, in a physical altercation. You might get your butt whooped. Yeah, like the white man know, if he said the wrong word now, it can get his ass whooped. 40, 50 years ago, he didn't have to worry about it. What? He didn't have no recourse. He didn't have to worry about his friend. Now, he got to deal with that. Simple. Things is changing. Moving on. And the Negro was reviewed as what? A person unworthy of respect. We wasn't considered a human being in the white man's world. Which is America. Make America great again. Yeah, put them niggas in their place. The inferior group of people. Really? I began to understand how my grandparents had struggled with an issue that I had often took for granted. Just some words. We ain't tolerating being called the N-word. White America knows that now. But 50 years ago, white America couldn't care less. That was a common word, and we had to stop that. See how some things just can't keep doing. If it's wrong, it's got to stop. And right now, leadership is about to change hands. That's another lesson. Let me get back over here my lesson. But at one time, and what's changed? We went from being a slaves to being inferior to them civilizing us and showing us and teaching us and to be like them. Right now, black people, we are the most perverted race of people, of black people in our generation ever. This is where we are. It's ridiculous. Moving on. And I ain't got the cast expression, but if you live in this time, you know just what I'm talking about. But it wasn't always that way. We fought to be respected, and y'all just excuse me. But where was that day? What was that? I thought I put a beat on there. Okay. Yeah, okay, Negro, but people were just beginning to develop in the 70s. About that. Okay. Now, okay, right here. Now you go. Now, understand this. I began to, during the course of my life, their lifetime, my grandparents, he's still talking about his grandparents, had their contemporaries, had to what? And their contemporaries, meaning his great grandparents and their friends, relatives, had to endure, watch this, being called Negro, a.k.a. nigger, Okay, nigga. Coon. What's a coon? A lot of young people don't know what a coon is. That was another word they called us. Spear chuckers, colors, blackie, darkie, all negative connotations of us as a people and how they saw us. Sambo, they had all kinds. It was spirit, man. It was so degrading that those words they can't use no more. Why? That nobody gonna settle for that. Civil rights came in the '60s to try to stop some of that negative spew. That's what was going on back then. Now watch this, and any name they called us every name they could think of except what? The child of God. And who was the black man? God's children. But he wanted to steal that title. We God's chosen people. No, God don't choose. He made a choice. Black man. Moving on. We ain't got to play that game. But this was their mindset. Now they were being what? Asked to refer to themselves, us being black people as what? As black. 1 minute is this, next minute is that, but without knowledge of self. And our ancestors told us, know thyself. Why? Because they would tell you who you are. This is a perfect example. That's why I'm freaking out. I know that now. I didn't know this 30 years ago. Man, I'm way above this. And watch this. To them, it was just another name. See, it didn't bother them. Call them crackers. Call them honkies. Okay? Call them rednecks. They don't like none of them words. Why? Because they're not in the positive light. Simple. If you're doing something, and this is what my act represents, if you're doing something and claiming to be fair, and you do it to me, you should have it done to you. That's my philosophy. That's how I philosophically live. Why? If it ain't good when you do it to me, it ain't gonna be good if I did it to you. But the fact that you did it to me and you worried about if I get a chance, I'll do it to you, that's called guilt. Moving on. And it's also karma. Why? Because you're going to deserve whatever you get from me after you did me a certain way. I'm going to have my way with you. You know that. If you don't, let me tell you. All right? I'm that dude. Ain't God say I'm a jealous God? Oh, I'm not God. I'm human. And the human part of me say I'm very vindictive. Moving on. Just admit that out there. And I have problems with certain things and people. But here we go. Now, I got a few more minutes. Watch this. Now, to them, we were just nothing. Boy, to calm down. No. Okay, redneck. You call me honky. What? See, you can't do it to them. So don't do it to me. If you don't want it done to you, don't do it to me. Because I'm that dude. I'm going to do it to you if I get a chance. Oh, I'm going to do it to you. Understand that? And that's the white man's biggest fear. If the black man ever gain power, his ass is grass. Moving on. But it was just a belief in a period of time that when discarded along with all the other which preceded the bad names and name calling as a child of the 60s, I'm from the 50s, I was fortunate to live in an era, watch this, where the racial epithet hurled in my direction were minimized. Why? Because of the white response to our newfound identity of blackness and of Africa. We started getting more proud. We started getting more prideful. When we start knowing ourselves, we start realizing who we are, or we start raising up. Big difference now. Them niggas done got uppity. Them niggas done got educated. We still them niggas, see? No respect. And understand this. Where we at? And I had to deal with the same stuff. Watch this. I was blessed to live in a time when what? I told my dad, he told me how this time, I said, I couldn't handle that. Why? We lived in a time where we could wear our ethnicity, okay? Like a badge of honor. I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. What happened to that? But instead of rejecting it because of what? Inbred negative feelings of what? Inferiority, because that's the seed they planted from the white man in the black man's mind in this generation. But in December of 1988, in 1988, blacks in America were now asked to what? Accept another name change. Jesus, Monetti. Again, here we go. Again, what's this? Yeah. What is it? Name change. One which reflected an even stronger sense of racial and cultural identification. So they say. You know what the name was? The new name was African American. You heard me. 1988, that was the title that we supposed to go by now. We done went from this to that to this. I'm getting annoyed. But the more I read this, the more annoyed I get. It's exciting. It's pissing me off. But watch this. Now, we had those kind of people. We call them house niggas, whatever. Mark can tell you about them, who side or cozy up with the white man, or they done got comfortable in their position or situation that the white man put them. So they don't, well, the white man's okay, he okay. Lassa. The media responded to this latest development by interviewing a few women, former blacks and Negroes. See, they said former, like today, when something happened, when they go find the ignorant person to put the microphone in their face and ask them questions, so they gonna speak for us as a people. Malcolm told you back in the 50s, if you was an athlete, you was a spokesperson for black people. They just athletes. They would go get anybody to be spokespersons. They've been doing this for a long time. Watch this. The media responded to this latest idea of viewing black people as Negroes by interviewing former black and Negro, meaning they kind of people, and asking them their feelings regarding the new name. Really? Of the responses given, most fell within these three categories, and I titled this, which are reflective of the following comments. I call this the three groups of ignorant Negroes. Unbeknownst to them, watch this, and it's going to break down. I'm going to end the show. This is going to be taking me out because I get a little upset. So before I get my little rant, let me wrap this lesson up. The first group, it's three groups. The first group is responded states, watch this, they responded stating that, well, I think the name African American is really appropriate because it correctly describes us as a people of African descent who currently reside in America. House nigga. They comfortable. They're gonna accept it. We about to use a word that I learned a long time ago. It's coming up. Okay, but the next group, this is the second group. And you notice who they tip they answers from the responses. This first group. Second group says, second group remarked rather jokingly, like, okay, ha ha, he. Well, I got used to being called black, Negro, and coon all those years. And now I'm being told that I should call myself an African American. Remember, know thyself. Remember the ancient told us a long time ago, know thyself. I've been preaching for the last 10 years, know thyself. I've been mastering and studying that philosophy for the last 30 years, to know thyself. This is why I'm freaking out. This is the classic ignorance of who you are. They telling you. Calm down, relax. Let me wrap this up because I'm about to lose it. This is the third group. I'm not done. The third group, the comments made by the third group of people, surveyed. Quite disturbing. Even my man, he's saying this is quite disturbing. Why? Because most of them stated emphatically, just adamantly about what? I'm not an African anything. I don't come from Africa. I don't have anything to do with African people. I like to take a big hand and slap the hell out of all of them. Come on, man. That is ignorance at its highest level. And that's what they want. This is perfect what they want. So that's why they interviewed. That's what they did. They put it out there. So they using us against each other. Again, black on black crime. It didn't just start. It's been in the mind a long time ago. The latter comments, let me wrap it up. Yeah, I said I'm almost done. The latter comments were made most frequently by what? Older citizens who had what? Learned to acquiesce. Just give it, go with the flow, so to speak. Okay, yes, master. Yeah. I couldn't been, I've been like Kunta. I'm not selling for that nonsense. Come on, man. Again, they asked the people, this is what you get, who had acquiesced to the decisions to be called themselves black, Negroes, 2 decades earlier. They already was ignorant. Why? They still letting somebody tell them who they are. That's why. But we're not willing to make the next step. They was comfortable. They got complacent being black, negro, whatever. Okay. No! Sorry. That they didn't take the next step to see what themselves as African or in any way related to African people. That's just ignorant. They didn't know no better. Obviously, I give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna call them dumb or stupid. No, but they was ignorant. And the attitude, and this attitude was created, watch this, by a socialization process. Watch this, which installed within the minds of most black people, aka Negroes, an unnatural hatred for what? Themselves, dark skin. Why do we hate ourselves? We want to be white. I get a lesson about that. I'm not chasing nothing about who I am. Why I am who I am. Popeye says it too. I am who I am, and I'm comfortable with who I am. For those who don't know or don't like who they are, they don't know who they are. That's obvious. And they play on that and have been for generations. It won't stop until what? You stop them. They won't stop on their own. A person with addiction, you can't stop them. They got to stop. And they won't. Well, trust me, that's what an addiction is. They can't. Moving on. But when you're comfortable doing something that's wrong, it's hard until you get caught. They got to stop you. And watch this. That attitude was created. Okay, that was the whole thing about not liking black. Hell, white don't like black. Black should not like black. That's crazy. Excuse me. And they show you the Klan. They making a joke out of it now. Hell, we hang a nigger every week. They was complaining and giving us grief. They doing the job way faster than we could ever do. We got nothing to do now. They killing themselves. Our job is already done. They don't have to come out and do what they used to do. We doing their job for them. Is that not stupid? That's stupid. That ain't ignorant. That's just stupid. The attitude reflected what? This attitude reflected a disturbance put down on what? Blackness that has been a part of African community for years. How about generation? Not years, generation. Because it's been just carried on. My old man wouldn't accept being called a damn boy. You call me anything other than my name, we're going to have a problem. Simple as that. So yeah, I ain't lost the zeal. I ain't lost that fight. I ain't lost that desire to be proud of who I am. And I'm not going to subject myself to being talked to in a disrespectful or called disrespectful name. They don't allow it. Why should we? Calm down. Yeah, I'm a radical. Yeah, call me what you want. But let me wrap this up with, this is the phrase back in the day. You ready? If you're white, you're right. If you're yellow, oh, you mellow. Okay? If you're brown, we let you stick around. But if you're black, get the hell back. This is the philosophy that they instituted 50, 60 years ago. Is it any different today? Nope. We just more ignorant as we was back then. We even acting like them. We doing it with them. That's a lesson I ain't want to get too deep. But I got the rabbit hole we just started. Okay, understand. I'm going to lose a few. I understand that. But this is information I think my people need to know. So as a teacher, I'm doing what I need to do to help enlighten, educate, inspire, and motivate you to what? Be your best self, a.k.a. know thyself. That's the lesson in closing. Right thinkers, may you all let it be 100. Me, 100 minus a day. If I never know that my right thinkers have passed away, I'll be right back.